Hey everybody, short video today with a little bit of useful advice. This is something that I've been doing for years for all of my carburetors and other air-related gaskets. But you'll probably run into this a lot in your mechanic career is you get one of these little paper gaskets here, you throw it on your intake manifold, you bolt your carburetor up to it, sits there for a little while, and maybe the carb has to come off after a couple years because the float got stuck or something or other, and then this gasket is just baked onto the intake manifold. Then you got to scrape it off and try to make sure you don't get all that paper down into the intake plenum. There is a wonderful little product I want to tell you about, and while the packaging is gone, I can tell you exactly what it is. This is a tube of something called high vacuum grease. High vacuum grease. I used to work in chemical laboratories, and this stuff was used to make airtight seals on little glass valves. Because when you are mixing various chemicals, a lot of the times you have to use glass only, because rubber and plastic will melt down. So for airtight seals on weird chemical reactions, I'd use this product here called high vacuum grease. I'll rub a little bit of this on my fingers, and I'll rub it on the top and bottom of these gaskets. And then I'll just lay them down normal. Don't have to go overkill, just get a nice thin little coat of high vacuum grease in your carburetor-based gasket. And every time I take the carburetor off for any reason, I just put a little bit more grease on the carb gasket. Now, on old Pops, I've always done this, and I've had the same base gasket on this carburetor now for like 5 or 6 years. And every time I've taken the carburetor off to do any kind of servicing, this is after many hundreds and hundreds of heat cycles and hours and miles driven, the paper gasket is actually still good. And I've never had it tear on me. So I've actually reused the same base gasket over and over and over again. And also high vacuum grease, as you can see, it's stuck here. It's very, very, very stiff, very sticky. As the name implies, it is designed to control or work in environments of high vacuum. So unlike regular grease that might get sucked up into the intake manifold, this stuff will hold the course and stay still. It's not a solid, but it's like toothpaste. It's somewhere in between a solid and a liquid. It's very firm stuff. So if you're working on an old beater like mine, and you have to pull the carb off from time to time because it's high mileage and it needs maintenance, get yourself a bottle of high vacuum grease and put it on your carburetor gaskets. This stuff really does work. I've been using it for years, and it can kind of help reduce the risk of vacuum leaks because, again, it's so thick that if there's a very small amount of warpage in your carburetor, it kind of helps fill that gap and reduce vacuum leak. And because it's extremely sticky, if dirt is trying to pass through the base of your carburetor, like an old oil bath air cleaner, it'll just latch onto that dirt and actually prevent it from reaching into the intake plenum. So just a short video today to help you with your old beater projects. So until we meet again, stay gold.